Hello everyone, so my partner and me would like to tell you about the summary of Mice and Men, the novella by John Steinbeck. So I would start it. To entitled from workers, George Milton and his simple-minded friend Lenny Small are forced to flee Ireland after Lenny rapes a woman's dress while trying to fill its material. They jump on a train and arrive at Soledad, California, where they take jobs as a ranch hand. As they walk, George sees Lenny carrying a dead mouse. George throws the mouse away, causing Lenny to cry that he misses the woman who gave him mice to play with. George reminds Lenny that the woman was his own Clara, who stopped getting him pets because Lenny kept killing them by patting too hard. George promises Lenny a puppy if he stops crying. At nightfall, George tells Lenny to gather firewood so he can cook some beans and becomes irrational. Lenny whines about not having ketchup. George yells that Lenny has ruined his life by always getting into trouble. Contrite and confused, Lenny offers to run away and live in a cave, but George murders that Aunt Clara would not like him wandering off on his own. That night, George recites an oft-told dream of him and Lenny buying their own ranch with lots of rabbits for Lenny to feed. Commanding Lenny to look around and remember where they are, George instructs him to return to the spot and hide in the bushes if he gets in trouble. In the morning, they arrive at the Tyler Ranch, where they meet an old one-handed man named Candy. He takes George and Lenny to meet the boss, who yells at them for being a day late. During the interview, George explains that Lenny is his cousin and was kicked in the head by a horse when he was a child. After stepping out of the ranch house, George admits to Lenny he lied about the horse and being cousins. Candy shows them the bunkhouse where they run into the boss's son, Curly, a short man wearing one black glove. Curly demands to know why Lenny is late and orders George to shut up and let Lenny talk for himself. After Curly leaves, Candy explains that Curly is a boxer but still has a little man's dislike for anyone bigger than he is. George warns Lenny to keep clear of the boss's son. Curly's young and attractive wife pretends to look for her husband, but it is only an excuse for her to check out the new ranch hands. Her flirting turns George away, and he warns Lenny to stay away from her. At noon, the laborers arrive, including Slim, their foreman, and another ranch worker named Carlson, who asks Slim about his dog's puppies. When Slim says he drowned her because the mother could not produce enough milk, Carlson suggests they kill Kenny's old mongrel and give him one of the surviving pups. After a hard day of haying, George asks Slim if Lenny can have one of the puppies. Impressed by how hard Lenny worked, Slim agrees. However, George informs Lenny that the puppies are too young to be separated from their mother, so Lenny beds down with the dogs. And the next day, a mule drops a shoe and Slim orders George to take it to the barn.
He arrives to find Curly's wife waiting, but her attempt to seduce him is interrupted by the arrival of Crooks, a hand-bucket African-American stableman, and Curly. When Curly demands to know what George is up to, he answers that he is minding his own business. Curly warns he will beat George if he ever finds him minding his own business with his wife again. That night, Carlson and Slim preserve Candy into letting Carlson bat his old dog out of its misery. When Candy hears the sound, he curls up on his bunk and cries. The next day, George tells Slim he lived near Lenny and Clara and picked on Lenny when he was a boy. One day, they were playing near a river and George ordered Lenny to jump in. Lenny did, but could not swim and almost drowned. When George got him to dry ground, Lenny forgot it was George who taught him to jump in. From that moment on, George felt responsible for his friend, and when the aunt did, the two hit the road together. That night, George tells Lenny he knows of a farm they could buy when they get a few more dollars. Candy overhears and offers the $350 out of the $600 they need if they take him with them, because he is getting too old to work. George agrees. When Curly accuses him of sleeping with his wife, the foreman threatens to beat the little man. Seeing Lenny smiling about the fun, Curly thinks he is making fun of him. He punches Lenny in the face. The large man refuses to defend himself until George yells him to get him. Lenny grabs Curly's hand and crushes it. Slim orders Curly to tell the boss he got his hand crushes in her faster and threatens to expose the really happened if he refuses. As George cleans the blood off his friend's face, Lenny asks if he can still feed the rabbits. The next night, George goes to town with the other men and leaves Lenny with the puppies. Later, George returns and finds Lenny talking to Croc in the barn. As he walks Lenny to the barn house, they meet Curly's wife, who wants to talk to someone, but George refuses, and she runs away in tears. The next morning, Curly's wife finds Lenny crying over the corpse of a puppy he accidentally killed while petting into her instead of the living. She talks to Lenny about her dreams of being a movie star and how she married Curly to be free of her mother. When Lenny states he likes stroking or softening, she suggests he to touch her hair, but Lenny cannot counter his strong hand. As he moves her hair, Curly's wife screams, and with his attempt to silence her, he accidentally breaks her neck. Lenny runs to the stream and hides in the bushes where he earlier agreed to go in times of trouble. Candy later finds the dead woman and informs George. He believes Curly will lynch Lenny, but George vows he will not let anyone hurt his friend. The other man from a bush, and Slim tells George he can't let Curly shoot Lenny or watch his friend to go jail. George steals a pistol and goes to the stream, where he finds Lenny. Hearing dogs approaching, George stands behind Lenny and regales him with trim of a run full of rabbits, then shoots him in the back of